Our big interview, it is Michigan State coach Jonathan Smith, who joins us now. Coach, really appreciate you taking the time. I know that day before the game, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we are very thankful that you're spending a few minutes here with us. I just want to ask you, first of all, being home. I mean, you guys had, it's been a month essentially since you played a home game. You had 2 road games sandwiched around a bye. What does it mean to be back at Spartan Stadium and in front of that home crowd and a homecoming crowd?
Yeah, it's definitely where we love to play. Back at home, homecoming, like you mentioned, a noon kickoff. We're definitely looking forward to that, getting back around to our fans. Spartan Nation helping us for a home field advantage because we're going to need it. This is a hot team coming off a huge win, and so we're excited to be back home in front of our crowd to play.
I know the last couple of games have been tough for you guys, Coach, but what do you feel best about with your team right now?
Yeah, you know, definitely go on the road and all that. I do like the reality that whatever the score is, our guys are going to continue to compete. We've gotten ourselves back in games. Now, there's things to clean up that we don't want to get behind in games, but there's never a lack of fight in the group. We just need to be able to execute for a longer period of time, really in all 3 phases if you look at the last 2 games.
Yeah, Coach, I followed your career and really admire what you do. And going back to last year, the foundation that you were setting and emphasizing the penalties and the turnovers and the special teams, I mean, all the things that you talked about week after week on your press conference, I mean, those are the things that you need to establish right off the bat to have a successful program. You know what you're doing there. When I listened to you and watched you play, and we'll use it last week, it's got to be a little bit frustrating for you when you see your players do the execution on the field. So you see the ability to do it, you know the mental thing, they know what to do, and then they might come back a series later and make a mistake, and it's a costly mistake. I guess the question would be is, what's your approach? And you see the same things. I know that. How do you approach in that thing to get it cleaned up where you can play consistently for 4 quarters?
Yeah, give you a couple of emphasis of what you're describing is our punt unit. Going into the last week's game, we were one of the best in the country. Our punter was punting, flipping field position. We were covering on punt. Well, it was not a good performance. Got the thing blocked, didn't cover very well. Same thing on the turnover side. We've been pretty good on that end, but going on the road and we turned it over a couple of times. And so we think about what led to that kind of performance. Obviously, the execution, you're going to see different scheme week in and week out. There's some really big time coaches here, and so we got to be able to adjust to schematics. And I think there's something to coaches in regards to recognizing that. And so how are we going to respond to a performance like that as coaches? I think about it that way because we're always asking our players, right, to respond, to continue to play. The execution, you've got the capability, you need to do it, to snap in and snap out. I think it's the same way for our coaches. And so we did emphasize that on Sunday and looking at ourselves to start and then to the player. And I've liked the week of work. I think it's been focused. I've been re-energized. Talked a little bit, but going back at home, yeah, we're excited to do that. But we need to, your execution will add to the energy and excitement, and we need to see it this tomorrow.
Now, you mentioned coaches. We have some common coaches that we have relationships with. You obviously, 2 of your mentors are friends of mine. Dennis Erickson, took over for us at Miami when we left and went to the Cowboys, and then Mike Riley, who, when he was at the Chargers and I was at the Dolphins, we had training camp together, and then we played Mike in the Sun Bowl, Oregon State Pitt. So just, tell me about how their relationship with you, coaching and off the field, has really influenced your life as far as where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, I got a bunch of respect for both those guys, and they did impact or influence kind of the type of coach I want to be. And now running things as a head coach, I try to recreate really similar styles to both of them. You're talking about 2 different men now, really smart, schematically football, but definitely different personalities. And so the impact, I think about Dennis Erickson, the competitiveness, the no back down to anybody. On the schematic side, Mike Riley was a coordinator on really both sides of the ball, and he impacted me on that end, how you handle failure, but also how you handle success. And I think about both those guys modeling and messaging after wins and after losses. I've taken a great deal from them.
When I was at Pitt, we played Oregon State. I know you were gone. Mike was there, and they beat us 3-0. Okay, and I was I knew you were gone, so otherwise I was gonna come back at you and ask what happened that day. But
3-0, huh? 3-0.
Oh yeah, we were on the nothing side. Okay?
Jonathan wants nothing to do with the 3. Let me just say that, right?
Trust me, you'd be happy you were gone. Be happy you were gone, Jonathan, at that exhibition.
It's quite a game when you look across the other sideline and you say, man, they got 3 points. I wish we could do that. That would really be something. Hey, Coach, you talk about handling success and handling failure, and Aidan Chiles has had a lot of success here early on. Last week was not one of his better games against Nebraska, and let's give a ton of credit. Like, you guys threw a touchdown pass against Nebraska. You're the first team to do that all year. I mean, it's pretty amazing how good they've been in terms of pass defense. That said, I know it was a challenging day. So how do you help him move on? Like, how do you flush that? You're a quarterback yourself. How do you get him to where he's in the right frame of mind going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, again, coaches. We start with ourselves schematically, the positions we're asking, just him, but also the offense in general. I think everyone, this is a team game. We got to step up around him and, find ways to protect him better, precision around. And then, yes, ultimately, Aidan got to have some better snaps of keeping his eyes up, seeing the field, not making a bad play worse. Again, the kid is competitive. I look at that last week's game, got us back into it in the third quarter, some fourth down runs and things. But at this position, snap in and snap out, you got to play at a high level with your eyes, decision making, and you're right. For 4 games, there was a lot to like in those things, and there's a couple of plays Nebraska there is to like. We got to have a longer from first quarter to fourth quarter performance, and we've talked about that. We've got full confidence that he's ready to go out and do it well tomorrow.
Hey, Jonathan, last one for you. I do want to focus on the opponent. You kind of touched on them a little bit at the outset of our conversation here, but it's weird timing, to say the least, with UCLA. I would assume that they got your players' attention this week with what they did against Penn State. But as you watch the film, like, how did they go from where they had been those first 4 games of the year to what they did last week against the Nittany Lions?
Yeah, it's played with definitely new life. You turn on that film from last Saturday, the energy they were playing with, they were attacking the win. You think about early with an onside kick, trying to steal a possession, 4th down aggression. Offensively, the quarterback, he was on display with the talent of running it and throwing it, and they had new energy there, running around on defense. And I give that team, this was a complete game. It wasn't like early on had some momentum and they rode that. It was 27-7 at half, but Penn State comes back in that game. Fourth quarter, it's still down to 1 score, and UCLA finished the thing. So you're playing a new team with new life, new changes on the coordinator side in the last couple of weeks. So they've got our full attention.
Well, we are looking forward to this one. Again, it's on the Big Ten Network tomorrow. We got the Big Ten tailgate crew there. It should be a big day in East Lansing. Coach, very appreciative of your time, as we said. I know there's a lot of things pulling at you the day before a game. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.